Hello and welcome to this tutorial, which is all about what is a project in Dubsado. My name is Michelle Gilson and I am a Dubsado VA and trainer, and I am going to show you what is a Dubsado project. Now, I like to call a project, what Dubsado calls a project, I like to call it a client folder, because that to me means more, and it's like having a cabinet in your office that's split into sections for each client, so you can easily find each part of working with them. So it's exactly like that, but it's in Dubsado. So these are we've also got the leads and the jobs, and each of these you can customize all of these to be whatever you want it to be. I prefer it like this, where I've got my services at the top. These are dummy. This is a dummy account. I prefer my services on the jobs page so that I can see how many people I've got within each service. I have my sales calls or free calls or inquiries, whatever you want to call it, here in the leads. And then when they have been sent a proposal, it will go into here. And when they have signed up, it will go into one of these services. Okay, so the project is the client folder. And if you click on the client itself, then this brings up what Dubsado calls the project, but it is, as I say, a client folder. So this is a project, and in here you will find all the emails that you deal that are with this client, all the invoices, the forms, appointments, workflows. You can add tasks if you want to, or you can put notes in here so that you don't have to have your notes somewhere else about this particular client. You can keep them in here. They don't see the notes, but it makes it so that you know what's going on with this client. On this left-hand side, you have the job name. So this is the bit that you would need to change when you're working with somebody. So say you've had a free call with them and they say they want to work with you on service 1, then the job name would be service 1. You can put their name at the side if you want to, but you don't have to, because that will appear anyway in the dashboard, the project list. You can also set a date, and that's normally for the date that you start with them. Now, on a normal project or working with somebody, you might not need to set a date, but if you are a wedding in the wedding industry, or if you are like a photographer for weddings and you have a specific date that you're working towards, then that would be a good date to put in there. That would be the project date. But if you don't have a specific date, then don't put it in. You don't have to. But say it was a wedding date, it would be obviously the date of the wedding in here, and then you could what you would do is put as available, or you can put it as busy if you want to. You can put the times in, or you can put an all day, set an all day. This bit here, this show available and busy, what that means is it blocks it out of your diary. Now, if you had a date in here, you wanted to put a project date in here, but you didn't necessarily want to block it out of your calendar, that will be your online calendar, then you would change it to available. If, however, you want it to be busy all day because you are actually attending the wedding and you need it to be blocked out of your diary all day, then leave it as busy. Okay, so then we've got the contract, and the contract depends on whether you are attaching the contract to the proposal as to whether you need to add this or not. If it's part of the proposal, then you don't need to do anything, it'll do it itself. Tags are if you want to tag for your purposes only, for reporting purposes of perhaps different industries that you're working with, etc. Project status, that was what we talked about at the beginning, which was leads and jobs. That will change automatically if you're using workflows. If you're not using workflows, then you can just click here and you can change the project status to be another job, or if it's in the leads, you can move it over to a job. This is where all the client information is held in here. This is the client portal, which you can activate from here and give it a password. If you don't give it a password, it will be the email address. Project location could be, again, if you've got a wedding, you might want to put the project location in here. Custom map fields, that's just if you want to create your own smart fields. The referral source, well, you should have gathered that information from the lead capture form using the project tracking, and that will automatically appear in here as to where they've found you, and if you want to assign a team member, if you've got team members there. So that gives you an overall overview of what the project is. Check out some of my other videos in my channel, which talks about lots and lots of different elements about Dubsado, broke down into small bite-sized chunks. Please subscribe if you'd like to be alerted to new videos that come along, and I hope to see you here again.